Come on, put some fire to it.
From time to time, language may be used that is inappropriate for younger listeners. Parental advisory is therefore advised. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Wagwan. Class is in session. It has been a minute since we've been back here with the one-on-one unscripted podcast. When I say a minute, more like 20,000 minutes. It's been about 7 months. We took a hiatus to reorganize, realign, and rearrange some things. And we're back. The one-on-one unscripted. This is a podcast that boldly goes where no soul has gone before, and we brag on the fact that we don't have a script. We don't have a particular outline of how we're going to talk about it. We just wait for a download and then we come on and give it to you. So I'd like to go ahead and get off into today's talk, and we're talking about the fact that there are still, right now today, in 2022, in America and other places, there are still witch hunts going on. I'm talking about they still out here hunting witches. You can't just stop being a witch either, by the way. Okay, this is interesting for us to kind of, get off into this. Before we get off into that, so I've been out on a mission somewhere in space, boldly going where no soul has ever gone before, and then I came back and I learned that the Queen was dead. God bless the Queen. She's been around for a very, very, very long time. So that made international news. It probably made news outside of this planet too. So not only did the Queen die, but there was also a rapper that got killed at a chicken and waffle spot out in California, and it was said that the young lady that he was with was taking pictures on the internet and posting them. And so, there's that. Not that we run around out here with a bunch of gold chains and stuff on, but and knowing that unfortunately, more money, more problems. Christopher Wallace told you all that. I also heard that Viola Davis is king. Beautiful, beautiful to see the sister still making money, still getting parts, and woman king. I can't wait to lay eyes on it. So getting back to the Queen, I heard that there were several countries that were not invited to her funeral. Several countries. In other words, we don't even want a representative from your area coming over here having anything to do with our procession. So that's Syria, Venezuela, Afghanistan, Russia, Belarus, and Myanmar. Well, if that's how they want it, that's what it is. I remember at some point, I want to say it could have been back when I did the 2020 predictions. I said something about Venezuela. I don't know what it was, but I said something about Venezuela back then. Okay. What else is going on in the news? Y'all, okay. Former President Trump is basically saying that if you keep messing around and keep playing with him, that this country is going to see a problem like they've never seen before. Now, we don't know if we should take that as a threat of another situation that we had in the White House in early 21, when that insurrection happened, or if the Don is just stating facts. He could just be stating facts, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. going back to my 2020 prediction video where it was kind of all about what was going on with him, and I predicted, I said that people were going to be trying to get him out of there and everything like that, but they weren't going to be as successful as they had hoped that they would be. This man has just as many secrets on different people as they think that they have on him. And so I think that's what he's talking about when he says that there's going to be a problem like none of us has ever seen before. He's going to start upping the tapes on people. You don't think that a man of this stature, a man this wealthy, a man with this much influence is not going to have secrets on people. And I think that's what people need to pay attention to, is that he's going to let some cat out the bag, and cats have 9 lives, so you better hope it don't come back. So the governor of Texas is doing what Ron DeSantis did. Ron DeSantis admitted to sending 2 planes full of migrants to Martha's Vineyard. And the Texas governor sent a busload of people, or a couple of busloads of migrants, Venezuelan migrants too, by the way. Okay, and there was a couple of other people from Nicaragua, Panama, Colombia, Cuba, and Guyana. And we're trying to figure out why all the South American stuff going on right now. What's really going on? We got to look at this thing from an energetic perspective, right? But how do you just pull up at the vice president house? Where they do that at? And this how you know that this woman can't be a real Harris, because somebody with the last name Harris, baby, you're not about to do that. So we know that this is this is the white Harris and not the black one, because you ain't just about to pull up at my yard with a bus full of migrants talking about, hey, Miss Vice President, what you gonna do for us? I think that was kind of rude. It was wrong. It was disrespectful. And I realized that people are trying to prove a point, and what are we going to do with all these people? And, how are you guys not controlling the borders? But we got to be careful, because, you can't just be giving out the addresses of government officials. Oh, but then again, y'all can. This is y'all's country. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. I'm just here to talk about the fact that they are still out here hunting witches. Now, before we talk about that, I want you all to write this number down. Write this number down. Go ahead, grab your pens. I'll give you just a second to do that. Or you can text it to yourself in a text note. That number is 520-714-8898. Let me say it one more time. That's 520-714-8898. Now, you might be thinking that that's my phone number. It's not. It's a code. It's a code for money. And I want you all to write it down, and you could write it somewhere where you'll be able to see it every day. Okay? I want you to be able to see that every day. Okay? And what we're talking about is these specific codes that are attached to frequencies, okay, that will help you to get money, okay? All right? So that's 520-714-8898. You guys could look that up on your own. I always want to drop a gem. All right, so let's get off into the meat of our talk. Here's what kind of prompted this talk is we're talking about witches, witchcraft, witch doctors, the fact that you can't stop being one. You can't stop being a witch. People they can want to go to church. They can want to go to all these different things. They can want to get prayed off of. They can want to, have somebody else cleanse them, do Olympia, do all these things. But you can't stop being who you are. You can't stop being what you are. But first, let us go ahead and define what is a witch. People were erroneously classified as witches when they were people that possibly had intuition, or possibly, had an unconventional method or way of doing something that the average person couldn't figure it out at the time. Like many midwives at a particular time were considered to be witches and different things back in the day. When we talk about the history, okay, of it and how it's been associated, or people's thoughts about it, witches have been associated with blood sacrifices, orgies, and all type of different deviant sexual behaviors. They've been aligned with evil spirits and even devil worshiping. You go out into the woods and you have these circles of people dancing around naked, drinking blood, sacrificing babies, and all these terrible, evil, wicked things. There was even, we talk about this popularity of witches, especially here over the last 5 to 10 years. There's been such a popularity with people coming out, like some very famous singers, and some even not coming out. But there was one called, what was her name? Lana Del Rey, who was a self-proclaimed witch who allegedly was attempting to hex former President Trump after he was elected. They was trying to get that man out of there. Okay, but there's been a lot, of that. When we go back into before the 19th century, let's go back into like between the 1500s, 1560 and 1700. There were witch trials that killed thousands of people out in England, thousands of people. And even out that way, their parliament even passed a witchcraft act, which defined witchcraft as a crime punishable by death. A crime punishable by death. Okay. And in 1824, there was a vagrancy act that was also passed by Parliament, which said that fortune telling, astrology, and things of the like was also punishable. So if we're talking about, a particular span of time where people were criminally punished or even killed for specific acts, then we got to ask ourselves, why all of a sudden the surge in people proclaiming to be witches, like they wearing this like it's a banner or like it's a t-shirt and different things like that. It is even said that TikTok, you can go on TikTok, which is a social media platform, and social media platforms have become notorious, we might add, for a lot of these people doing spells online, spell tutorials, tarot card readings, and teaching somebody how to do this and teaching somebody how to do that. But your baby witch ass ain't been witching but nothing for 2 to 3 years, and all of a sudden you got more knowledge than somebody that has been practicing metaphysical and supernatural craft for over 30 years, but they're not on social media. So what does that make them? What it makes them is smart, because there are still witch hunts out here going on, and you all are proclaiming and waving this flag and acting like, listen, you can't see that this world is not as liberal as it has been, as it used to be, and people's rights are being challenged all the time. So what's going to happen when all you pretty little so-called self-proclaimed witches are out there and they begin to reenact or enact or pass laws that would make some of the behaviors that you all are doing criminal, right? Now, I'm not one to judge. You all know that about me. I'm open, and I'm loving, and I'm embracing to everybody. I would dare not be a hypocrite, right? But it is my job to grow, evolve, teach, and reach. Okay. Let's talk about, as we talk about, a witch doctor. Now, a witch doctor is not, when you talk about the two-headed doctor, we're not talking about the same thing. Now, a two-headed doctor is just that. A two-headed doctor could be doing the healing and could be doing the destruction. But generally, the definition of a witch doctor was one that would heal ailments that were apparently caused by witches or witchcraft. that was a witch doctor. They would heal you from it. Or you go to, nowadays they put a very bland term on it, and they say a root worker. You go to somebody to have them take something off you.